Hey folks, Mr. G here. We are continuing on with our video series on how to make the Winky Blink. I have Fusion open right now, and in our last video we uploaded our designs from Tinkercad, and now we need to know what to do with them in Fusion. So if you'll notice here, we have a bunch of yellow lines everywhere. These yellow lines are where electronic components need to be connected. And it is our goal to make sure that these lines do not cross, because on our printed circuit boards, the copper, there's no way for it to really hop over itself. It needs to be routed around. So our step right now is to create this board in a way that none of these lines cross. And this can be really, really tricky. When you start with a board, my first suggestion for you is to take all of your components and spread them out. So if there's easy things that you can do, you can click on the Move tool, which is in this top right corner here. There's the Move and the Rotate. These two tools are going to be your friend. So click on the Move tool, and then we will grab on a component. So this is our slide switch, and we'll move it out of the way. And let's see what else we can move out of the way here. Maybe we'll take our battery, move it a bit down. And sometimes we also need to rotate components. So the diode that's sitting over here is a little bit funky looking. So let's see if we can't take this and use the rotate tool, and then you just click on that component, and ooh, that's worse. Rotate. Oh, that's better. Okay. And we just continue to move and rotate components until they have a bit of freedom. Now, honestly, this doesn't look too bad. Not a lot of things are crossing right now. And if they do cross, it's going to be okay, because we have components like resistors that if we were to take this one and go down and underneath of the resistor, because there's no copper going through here, we could go around and through there. So now we're kind of more planning out what we want our circuit board to look like. So I like having the transistors in the middle. I also like symmetry in all of my components. I find it a lot easier to fit it into an actual board that's going on the inside, and it looks really, really good. Especially with our LEDs. These are the two things that are going to be sticking out of the case. So we want them to be perfectly symmetrical and in a good measurement apart. So if we're looking at this now, this looks a lot better. Maybe we want our slide switch to also be somewhere that's rather logical. So maybe we actually want this to go right in between, right in the middle. That would be pretty cool. Or we could have it symmetrical and going this way. Why don't we actually do that? Let's rotate it so it's right on the end. Oh yeah, that'll look good. Okay, we'll rotate it 2 more times. Yeah, that's good. Move it. And again, right lined up with our LEDs right there. The other thing we want is the battery to be nice and tucked away. We'll rotate that as well. And if it gets a little funny like that, you just need to rotate it 2 more times. Haha, there we go. And once everything's spread out, we can get back to shaping this to perfection later. But that is the main piece, is to get all of our things pulled apart in a logical order. So we've got our resistors, we've got our transistors, we have these are our capacitors. So maybe I want to get our capacitors a little bit better lined up. So we'll have maybe capacitor there and capacitor there. So we've got some crossing here. Maybe we could do that a bit better, but we're going to sort that out once we start our component routing. So we will just go like that for now, because I think that looks really nice and clean in terms of the shape of my board. You can also start to move in the outside confines of our board. We don't need our boards to be that big. So that in a bit. Perfect. Okay. Next, we've got to set up our rules, which we are going to get into in the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.